Hey guys, welcome to Chelsea 3, West Ham 0 match review. What a fantastic win. I mean, we needed that particular win badly, to be honest. And the game was a bit funny. We kind of played throughout that match a little bit sort of in that nervous sort of sense. But nonetheless, we got that 3 points, much needed 3 points. But if I was to sort of, make a summary of it, obviously we're going to go into the whole in-depth analysis of this game. If I was to make a summary of that particular match, I don't think we were totally in that game all the time. We didn't control, I don't think, all the time. But yeah, we managed it. We had all the leaders in the pitch, and we managed the game. Scored that early goal, which was very important, and then obviously we just held on because West Ham did look like, they had a goal in them, but luckily enough, we just kept on holding on. And then we got our just rewards. When you play suffer ball, there's that term, suffer ball. When you play that suffer ball, it's great that, the rewards finally come through at the end, which is fantastic. So, guys, let's start off with the lineup. For me, the lineup was a decent one, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts as well, guys, what you think about the lineup. Let's get some interactions going on live here. So thank you for people that have just joined in as well. For me, from the get-go, the lineup was quite good, personally. The back five, as usual, back five with Mendy, Reece James obviously being injured, so Azpilicueta came in. And Thiago Silva, Zuma, Chilwell. For me, that was a solid back five, so I can't complain with that. Kante in lone DM position, and then you've got Jorginho in the lone DM position, Kante on the right side, and Mount. Probably a bit of a surprise. A lot of us expected Kovacic to start this particular game, but I wasn't too worried that Jorginho started. To be honest, I actually felt it was good in the sense that we're going to play a lot more through the middle. There's going to be a lot more one-touch passing. And Jorginho's game, as you guys have all seen, let me know your comments about Jorginho's game, how you felt about that. I felt personally he was doing good. He was dropping deep and supporting the build-up from the back, helping at the centre-backs. He was pretty much sometimes the middle centre-back when it was building up from the back. So it was brilliant to see that. Yes, he had some off passes here and there, but you're not going to always have 100% passing rate. So for me, that was actually a nice surprise from Frank Lampard. My brother actually over there, Tammy Abraham, was brilliant. He's actually a massive advocate of Tammy Abraham. So kudos to that. He was actually very good. Second half, Tammy Abraham was brilliant, actually. 2 goals. Khan, much needed 3 points, 100% much needed 3 points. And yeah, just going back to the lineup, I felt like it was good up front. Obviously, we had Timo Verna on the left, Pulisic on the right, and Tammy Abraham. A lot of people probably will say that, what about Giroud? He's been scoring a lot of goals, but I can understand why Tammy sort of started that game, which was, we needed a lot more fluidity, and we saw that fluidity, not just, probably not as much in the first half, but in the second half, we saw the interplay between Tammy Abraham and Pulisic, and this is probably why, Tammy got the nod. Not to say that Giroud can't play like that. Giroud definitely can play as well, but Tammy just probably adds that extra added bit of pace, which helps both Pulisic and Timo Verna. So overall, the lineup for me was pretty good. I've got no complaint. Obviously, Callum Hudson-Odoi back into the bench was good to see as well. Hopefully, Ziyech comes back into the next game. And now let's talk a little bit about the first half. First half, obviously, we scored that goal straight away. Golden Liu, what's Lampard's tactics? He looks clueless sometimes. I'm worried we ain't going to beat top teams for sure. We'll get to all of that. First of all, obviously we scored that goal through Thiago Silva, and it was a brilliant corner. Honestly, Mason Mount's getting really, really good with these corners, and I'm very happy with that. Set pieces are getting really dangerous for us, and the way we attack in set pieces is very interesting as well. The way Zuma blocks off a couple of players, or someone else blocks off, and then someone gets a free header. So fantastic movement there, and a great bullet header from Thiago Silva. And that set up the tone. We needed that early goal, which was fantastic. Guys, everyone that's joining in, please smash that like button and let me know who your man of the match was as well in the comments, and I'll read it out. So, yeah, brilliant stuff from us with Thiago Silva. fantastic cross. And then from there on, I felt like West Ham sort of came into the game. Throughout that period, in that sort of middle half of first half till probably, almost the 70th minute of the second half, West Ham was really on top of us. Perhaps that was a tactical thing that, Frank wanted to play on the counter. And we had chances. And this is the first topic that I want to talk about is Timo Verna. Timo Verna, guys, I think this guy, we've seen this match already in the second half just before the final whistle. He had a fantastic chance once again, and he, smashed it, hit the crossbar. In the first half as well, Pulisic gets into a nice area, drives through. Now, a lot of people can say, and Alan Shearer in halftime was saying that had he passed it quicker or earlier, instead of taking those touches and dribbling in, perhaps you could have had either Tammy Abraham or Timo Verna really fly in and get that momentum while they hit it. But nonetheless, it was still a goal-scoring opportunity for Timo Verna, and he absolutely fluffed it. His first touch really killed the opportunity for him, and he missed that chance, and that would have been a golden opportunity for us to go 2-0 at halftime. But once again, he really needs to work on that first touch, because it wasn't just that. There were instances in the first half, fair few instances where he gets a long ball or he gets a simple pass and his first touch really lets him down. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are about Timo Verna. Overall in the match, even in the second half, there was a cross from Tammy Abraham. Sure, that could have been a first-time cross. I tweeted out that should have been a first-time cross. But nonetheless, it was still put on in a great area, and Timo was just not there on time to get that. And as I said, in that, in the second half, just before the final whistle, Timo Verna, hits the post. So, guys, let me know your thoughts about Timo Verna. What can be done? He seems like something's just missing in his game. He's got the pace. He's got the attributes to be a great striker, but it's just that you'd think he's a finisher, but clearly at the moment he's not. I had a really good conversation with Jay. Actually, I don't know if you guys will know from Football Twitter, and he was saying that you look at someone like Vardy. Vardy completely focuses on finishing. He doesn't get into a whole heap of running around too much and get into playing and interlinking. And perhaps, hopefully, when Ziyech comes back and Werner goes back into the centre half position, hopefully he does better. But let's read some of this commentary from Ben Hur. Not good enough, but job done. Khan wrote, Tammy, man of the match, just for getting the 2 goals and ensuring 3 points. And we'll get to Tammy as well. And he wrote, why do Rice already feel like a Chelsea player? Yeah. Now let's talk about the second player. So we talked about Timo Verna. The second player that we want to talk about is Thiago Silva. Guys, Thiago Silva was a monster in that particular match. For defensively blocking, intercepting, reading the play. He reads the play so well. There's a reason why, West Ham, with all the ball they had, didn't threaten to actually create any mega chances. I don't think they had any mega chances. Probably maybe one in the entire match. But it's a lot of it is because of Thiago Silva, I believe. The way he defends, the way he commands his area, fantastic. And obviously the goal. So kudos to Thiago Silva. For me, I think Thiago Silva probably go down close to being a man of the match. I know Tammy scored the 2 goals. I think Thiago Silva, with his defensive attributes and that getting that early goal, was crucial for us in this match. And his leadership at the back, along with Azpilicueta, who came back, and Azpilicueta was immense as well in the right side. Yeah, there were moments where he was caught out, but there were instances in the second half where Azpilicueta was looking fantastic. The way he intercepts, the blocking, and just basically just shielding our goalkeeper and not allowing that goal. Now let's talk about Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham, guys, this guy, the best thing I like about Tammy Abraham is, guys, his attitude. I don't hear too much about Tammy Abraham in the media. He gets dropped, he plays well. Giroud comes in, he takes the bench. Now he gets an opportunity, and this is what I like about Tammy Abraham. He just keeps his mouth shut, and whenever he gets his opportunity, he tries to do the best. And that's the kind of attitude I like to see in the Chelsea football team right now. So, we were going through a phase in that particular game where West Ham was pretty much controlling the game, and we had to play the suffer ball, as Conte would say, and just rewards for us at the end. And Tammy, luckily enough, gets that brace. The first goal, obviously nice finish as well, nice interplay. And then the second one as well, great interplay with Pulisic. And yeah, like he completely deserves those 2 goals. And for me, good change up from Frank Lampard to bring in Tammy Abraham. And Tammy Abraham's second half definitely played much better than the first half. First half, I don't think he was involved too much, but in the second half, definitely he was far more involved. His link-up play was getting better. He was getting players like Pulisic and Werner into the game. It was that Werner shot where Tammy gambles and then goes in and taps it in perfectly. And then second one, obviously, once again he gambles. There was a nice cross from Mason Mount, which confuses the West Ham defense, and then Tammy goes in and slots the goal in. But once again, great interplay from Pulisic. So yeah, guys, overall, much needed 3 points. We needed that 3 points badly. And look, not the greatest performance, 100% not the greatest performance, but off the back of 2 losses, we just needed to build that momentum up again. And I think we've with this particular victory up against, let's not forget the fact it's a very, decent West Ham team that have been doing well so far this season. So, to get that victory against them, much needed, and to keep them sort of, although they kind of had the control, but to keep them somewhat quiet in terms of big chances was kudos to the defense as well, getting that clean sheet. And to be honest, Mendy probably didn't have to do too much. Now let's look at some of the player analysis. Let's just go through the whole lineup and just see how everyone did. Overall, for me, as I said, Tammy Abraham, Thiago Silva, and Timo Verna, probably the talking points of this match. We'll get to Frank Lampard as well. Let's look at the match, some of the player analysis. For me, Mendy, start from the back. I don't think he had too much to do. There were a few corners that he had to deal with, some set pieces, but I think overall he had too much to do. In the back line, as I said, Thiago Silva for me will come very close to being man of the match alongside with Tammy Abraham. I'd probably give it to Thiago Silva because of his defensive duties. Let me know who your man of the match is. I know a few people have mentioned Tammy, a few have mentioned Thiago Silva, so let me know what your thoughts are about man of the match. Zuma, once again, I think he was quite solid alongside Thiago Silva. That partnership keeps growing, gets another clean sheet. Azpilicueta, for me, guys, it looked a little bit off pace, and you can understand that because he hasn't played too many games, but overall his game was good. Defensively, he was solid. Obviously, moving forward, you're not going to get that same attribute like Reece James, but hopefully Reece James gets well and comes back. But Azpilicueta, meanwhile, is still doing a great job. I'm so glad, the captain, leader, legend. He's a legend for us, 100% Azpilicueta, and kudos to him that he's put on a performance like that from not playing so many games. Chilwell, guys, he gets injured very early. Hopefully it's not a mega injury, but you could see he wasn't feeling right. And West Ham straight away off that one set piece targeted his area, and luckily enough, Declan Rice's goal was disallowed because it was offside. So Emerson comes in. I think Emerson does a really good job, to be honest. For me, he's starting to be a very, very good backup left back. So I'm glad that someone like, if Chilwell does need a rest or he gets injured, that we can rely now on Emerson to come back. Hopefully this player doesn't leave in January. So kudos to him for his performance against West Ham today. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, about Emerson's performance in the comments, please. He gets a lot of slander in social media. So let me know what your thoughts are. In the middle, Kante was supreme as usual. Obviously there were moments where, the passing range. There was one instance in the first half where Timo Verna goes for a really nice run, and had Kante looked up or even Jorginho looked up, they would have found Timo Verna flying. So that's probably the one area where I feel Kante could improve. But overall, look, his defensive game is immense. Mason Mount, I think he did a decent job. Nothing too fancy, but he just does a job very, very well. Solid. He's showcased his strength very well up against the West Ham midfielders and their defenders. So that was good to see. And obviously his energy is really important for our team. Jorginho, as I said, I think overall he had a decent game. His build-up was very instrumental for us. And obviously defensively, luckily enough, we didn't get caught out. And that's where Kante was, closer to Jorginho. And also Thiago Silva, he knows that he reads the game quick enough to help out Jorginho, which was fantastic to see as well. Up front, guys, Tammy Abraham, he had a better second half and fantastic second half and gets 2 goals. For me, That's the exact response you want to see from Tammy Abraham, who's been missing a few matches through Olivier Giroud playing. So it was good to see that Tammy gets 2 goals, and he'll come very close to winning the man of the match over there. And obviously Timo Verna, this guy just badly needs a goal. And I don't know, what's going on. He needs to just think, don't think, overthink it. Just go out there and just think about that one hit, one shot, and try and get that in. Pulisic, for me, overall, had a pretty good game. In the right side, I don't know he's that effective, but he still did a very good job. In the first half, obviously that ball to Werner, had Werner finished that off, that would have been an assist for him. There were a few instances from the right side. That interlink that he had with Tammy in the second half was brilliant as well. But I feel like in the left side, he's far more lethal, far more ruthless. He's far more direct, and he's able to take on the defenders more. In the right side, I guess he just can't cut in, and that just takes away a very important part of his game. But overall, look, he had to do a job because Timo at the end probably is better on the left as opposed to the right. So that's why he generally plays on the right, Pulisic, when this scenario happens where Tammy starts. So as I said, once Ziyech comes back, I think Timo will move back into the middle, and Pulisic will go to the left, and hopefully he'll find his natural habitat again. So overall, guys, now in regards to Frank Lampard, look, to be honest, I don't know. You can't really comment too much about Frank Lampard in that particular match. We needed the win. He got the win. Tactically, I don't know he needed to do anything superb. He got that early goal from Thiago Silva, and from there, I think the word was just playing the counter. How much of that is the right way to do? Perhaps it was. The team just looked a bit nervous off the back of 2 losses. So, once probably the halftime finished, Frank might have said that they just needed to lift a little bit because West Ham was in control. But in the second half, we saw that West Ham was still in control, but we just held on, and we controlled the match. I think one of the things Frank really likes, throughout, you guys would have noticed in his press conferences, pre-match or even post-match, he talks about controlling the match, managing the match. And I think we did that in regards to all the leaders that we had. So overall, I can probably say that Frank did okay in that match. He didn't have to do anything superb. Substitutions, brings on Kovacic instead of Jorginho, probably rightly so, as the match was getting older and older. Probably needed some fresh legs, that drive from midfield, and someone like Kovacic can do that. So for me, I don't know. I can't see anything wrong from Frank. Needed the win, and we got the win. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let's read some of these comments over here. Ben Herteki, Werner need to get back his killer instinct. CFC Stephen, up the Chelsea. That's it, up the Chelsea. Can't play Timo alongside Tammy Giroud up front. That's natural position, and ship him out next summer if he doesn't do well over the course of 20-25 games. I don't think Timo Verna will be shipped out, but nonetheless, guys, let me know what your thoughts are about this game. Overall, I feel much needed 3 points, and we got the job done, and I think that's exactly how we need to look into this particular match. We've got Arsenal coming up next. They're in a bit of a mess at the moment, massive mess. So hopefully we go out there and get that victory as well. We'll be very, very sad if we don't get the full points against them. OPEC, Werner should have scored, 100% should have scored. Rob Williams, the transfer budget. Not really sure what that really means, but nonetheless, guys, please, comment and smash the like button. Helps the channel out a lot, and comment on how you felt the match was as well. And until next time, guys, see ya.